That is the reason, like mantras, they have fixed for 108 times. Each time you sit, a number has been given. The basic reason is mind takes that much of time to cool down and become focused and concentrated. If sincerely you do 108 times of the mantra, focused on the mantra, then your mind becomes concentrated. Same with meditation also. Swamiji was very firm. 1 hour meditation, even the first initiation anybody gave, that to sit for 1 hour. And he used to keep scolding if they, after 15, 20 minutes, they would open the eyes. He used to, hey, shh, close, close, close. Stealing them. The amount of habits that extroverted, that mind wants to hit back, come out. So then it's difficult, becomes difficult to keep the eyes closed also until you get used to it. So if you firmly sit for 1 hour, then after some time the practice comes. When the body also stills itself, then eyelids also stills, then you become used to it. 1 hour will be very comfortable once you are used to it. If you are not used to it, it will be uncomfortable. So that's what happens slowly, slowly. Then you, at home also, the same practice if you continue, then once you feel so comfortable at 1 hour, so you can increase another half an hour, and you will feel better. So that will be helpful. Like that, slowly, slowly you can increase. When it is lost, you don't feel whether it is day or night or which day of the month. Is it 3rd February or 6th February or what? Nothing comes to mind. Time passing by also. Only when like Ambaji used to come, she used to tell me. Otherwise, whenever Swamiji's appearance happened, I used to understand that today must be a full moon day. So that's how he used to appear. Other than that, nothing comes to my mind. If I tell all the secrets, then you should not take undue advantage with me. Now, for me, energy is all the same at all times. There's no difference. Whether it is no moon day or full moon day, both are same. Because the divinity is there in all the things. So they need not be that energetic, because the mind does not differentiates anything or discriminates. It simply says the truth universally at all times. No, I didn't keep the calendar, it didn't occur to me. Next time if I do, I will remember. Good idea. I should have kept. Same everything. Only for sake of to respect priests I accept. Otherwise, any day muhurtam is all right. Simply then. Purnardasa sang you must add Sakala Graha Bala Nine Sarasi Jaksha Nikhila Rakshaka Nine, the divine. It's all man made. If you start thinking, then you lose confidence. So, oh, today's the Muhurtam is not nice, you should not go. South India, particularly, these Rahu Kalam problems are terrible.
Good time, bad time.
Bad time. And then they modify and manipulate to their convenience, Rahu Kalam also. So just 2 minutes before you come out of the home, and then after Rahu Kalam you can travel, no problem, nothing happens. Once they think nothing happens, nothing happens. It is the confidence. One time I remember, so my mother was telling me, don't travel on Tuesdays usually. I was going to Chennai. My brother was there, elder brother. I had taken a ticket on Tuesday. But throughout I was praying, God, please, nothing should happen. Otherwise, Babbi will blame me. Look, I told you not to come on Tuesday, but nothing happened. Reached safely. Fine. The Tuesday. So this concept, you see, we forget though we get to listen, God is omnipresent, omnipresent, omnipresent. The same priest tells, ki east is good, west is bad, like that. Then we stick to the east and west, not the omnipresence of the divinity. It doesn't sit in the mind, you see. If omnipresence of the divinity is there, what is south and what is north? So usually, if a certain thing is symbolizes a wrong or a bad omen, then do not do like that. Other terminologies also. You see, even today in India, for any, even people who live in the ashram also, many people address as inmates of ashram. But in America, it will be totally wrong. They address inmates of ashram only for the prisoners. The others, it has to be recognized as residents. So then in my talk, if I tell inmates of this house, they will all will feel very bad omen type like that. So that's what it hits the mind. It is all the confidence and losing the confidence. So then you don't feel like going further. That's what it happens. So when we make it positive and negative, according to our imagination, if certain thing happens, that is positive, otherwise negative. Otherwise there is no negative energy at all. If we see only God in everybody, nobody is negative. For a yogi, no negativity can come from anybody also. Even a worst crooked fellow comes also, you will see only God in that. So you have to rise to that level. But if you are in the imagination of positive negativity, it all appears to be so. So it depends on your imagination and assumptions. Jyotish can be helpful psychologically, with due respects to those people who practice that one. And most of the time, they guess a longer thing. This year is going to be more calamities, more troublesome thing, more conflicts. So everybody can understand. You also can tell a Jyotish sitting, wars are going to happen, more floods might happen, this might happen. 20 things you tell, at least 2 or 3 truth happens, true things does happen. So that is what it is actually. In other side, from other point of view, historically only you take, so many things has happened, floods, tsunamis, assassinations, etc., etc. Nobody has pinpointedly told at this 7:45 a.m. this person is going to be killed. But once that happens, everybody start claiming, I had an inclination, I had hinted. Now the Nostradamus things keep happening. How much he would have predicted about the world or universe? He has gone. So his language is manipulated and exploited and changed, edited, re-edited. He had told about Hitler also. He had spoken about Iraq and Iran and anything that happened. Oh, he had already told. Where was that one? So now you tell what's going to happen next year. That is not told yet, because next year has to come. When it happens, oh, Nostradamus had told already. On and off, this keeps coming. People keep playing, it's like the video game type. This keeps happening. But coincidence really doesn't happen. In spirituality, it teaches you to face the moment. It doesn't talk about the future. Even Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, nobody knows what the result of this war is. But it's your duty to do the karma. You take up the weapons and fight if it has been imposed on you. Then you make it that you can win. You should have that enthusiasm while doing so. That's what he says in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, a couple of times we have sent, my horoscope has been sent, but don't tell me that I am a yogi or where I am. They couldn't tell exactly. He was a well-reputed person. So they were asking for certain hints and certain questions. Okay, that is not the things. Pinpointedly you must be able to tell. General guesswork, all of you can do, experts. When you see the life, a longer vision you can always have. And this, another thing, many people might believe, many of you also believe, Vastu thing also. It's a nexus between contractors and these Vastu people. He will come and see. So this construction is not right properly. So the kitchen should not be here and the bathroom should not be here. You break the bathroom and you construct the bathroom here and put the kitchen here. And you call the contractor and the mason, everybody gets benefited. So they will create havoc when you believe, they will create doubts in your mind. See, life is a mixture. Troubles come, happiness comes, unhappiness comes. In spite of the fact that you listen to the Vastu and construct everything according to the Vastu, there is no guarantee that universally you will always have happiness in this world. This is the truth of philosophy. That's what Swamiji used to tell. Great sages like Vasistha, and they all calculated and gave the ripe moment, Muhurtam, for crowning of Rama as the crown prince. But at the same moment, he was banished to go to forest. What the moment has to do in these things? So that's what Swamiji used to tell. Means this is the thing. One particular weakness among our human being, we don't want trouble any moment of our life. We are scared. We don't want anything. All the time it should be smooth, comfortable, happiness. How can that happen in this world? It doesn't happen. Just to satisfy our mind, so we keep doing any one of the things. Hundreds of things are there. Somebody gives according to your Rashi some ring and some stone in that color stone. Once you wear it, you feel confident. Now I am wearing, everything will be all right. So mentally, it is mental satisfaction, that is what is needed, mental confidence. If at all it comes, let it come, what to do? So we cannot help it, anything, any illness happens. When we sat at Perth in the aircraft, we didn't know what's going to happen when we land in Melbourne. When we landed, I got the double image in the eye suddenly. Nobody had predicted, nobody could tell anything. When Apollo 13 could not land on the moon, so everybody said ki in America, number 13 is very bad omen. That's it. So funny. So this makes sense. For that purpose, if they had constructed for a sunlight and the other reasons, astronomical reasons, if it was done is a different thing. But now in medieval times it has changed its course. Common people are being exploited. So they are afraid, oh, you should not do this one, you should not be doing this one, you should not be doing this one. Altar should not be here, this should not be here. The fan should not be here, it has to come here. Then it would require some more wire now, we had to buy some more wire. So that's the shopkeeper benefits. We read lot of stories about, that story of Mullah Nasiruddin also is there. So once the laundryman was coming with his cloth, the king was also coming. So on seeing the laundryman, the king sneezes and he falls down the horse. So then he orders that the laundryman be put to death. Because on seeing him, so I had to sneeze and I had to fall down the horse. Then his laundryman's last wishes are asked. He tells, I want the king also to be put to death. Why? Just by seeing me, he fell down the horse. But by seeing the king, I am losing my life. How bad this king's face is. It's bad. So, it's the wittiness, wisdom, use of wisdom. So we are always selfish. On one side is justice, other on the other. One uniform stillness of divinity is what the thing is. The rest, anything happens, it's like a drama enacted. Nothing serious, nothing to be worried. But that is not as easy as we talk. It has to come through long time tapas. That mental imaginations must burn out everything. Then only that thing comes. So that's how thing happens. I see the divinity and I realize fully that it's the divinity, but yet I also understand a drama is there. Like the Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to tell the story when the master was teaching the Advaita, the student misunderstood. By theory, it's very difficult to follow the Advaita, not easy. So he thought God is everywhere, my master sees God in everything. So he was sitting on the banks of river and the elephant was coming. The elephant rider was asking to give way, give way. He thought, in elephant also there is Narayana, God is there, I should not be worrying. So God should not be harming me. That's what his perception was. But elephant came and it threw him away. He got bruised and fractured. He came to the master and complained, you told ki God is everywhere. So the master scolded, God was in the elephant rider also, idiot. He was asking you to give way, but you failed to see God there. So when you practice to see God means in everything. Sometimes somebody might criticize me, somebody might praise me. So in all I have to see God and maintain my mental equilibrium. So that it comes by practice. The inner source is the divine, but the outer form of the droplet is a bit confused. So that is all. So with compassion, that's why if only there also this awareness comes, all conflict, all confusions, all unhappiness, everything ends in the world. So we try to work it out, we try to create awareness. The first, that's why we encourage sadhana, practice, practice, practice. Generally as a teacher we try to avoid talking of the Advaita, because that could be confusing for many people. Not by theory it will not come, by practice only it can happen. Only when you yourself realize that will come. So before that I must encourage you to do sadhana, meditation. Meditate. Just now don't worry, slowly, slowly it will come like that. So don't try to practice just by looking into the book. कि वही अंडे अब अंडे में फोड़ो अब सिर नीचा करके बैठो करके रेडी में बोलती जाती है. So if you keep the book and then try to cook the things, you are likely to spoil the whole show. If you are not practiced, the practical experience is very much necessary for these things. I will behave with you considering you as a trash only, not as divine. Then that will be difficult, dangerous. If I try to behave with you considering you as a divine. If you are playing as a trash, I will also accept you as a trash. But inside me, I know it is the divine. So actually, because for your question only answering, for your understanding, so when you prostrate also, there is no excitement in me that I have become something special and you are prostrating to me. So that imagination doesn't occur at all. So that's what. So one time I told, the beginning of my travel, so our host brought lot of eatable items then. So the one of the person who was traveling with me told, how nice it is to become a yogi. I told him, if you are interested to eat, don't become a yogi. But the moment you become a yogi, you will lose interest to eat all these things, even if it comes in front of you. You won't be eating so much. So like that, visualizing. A little bit compassionately, with a better understanding, other than with the other human being. So when you depict any wrong or negative thing, they may be upset or feel bad about it. But inside I don't feel bad. I know that you are helpless simply, that type of thing. Everywhere it is, the divine is there. So that is what Kabir Das telling, Sadhoy Mrudon ka gaon, this world is a village of dead bodies. Nobody is alive actually. Simply robots are moving around. Even in otherwise also, if you observe human being, you will feel that they seem to be helpless whatever they are doing. 100 times 25 people will sit in front of me and listen to my answers my teachings, everything. But when they go home, when they behave, when they take up a cell phone and when they talk, they end up behaving they are habitual to. You observe, you do a survey for people. So it's a very difficult thing. So that's why we tell it's only there is no consciously people are unable to do it. They seem to be unconscious of what they are doing. This is what Jesus said, they know not what they are doing. Just like the doctor knows different patients, different illnesses, if he is an expert, he has seen, if he had handled lot of cases, so many cases, he is an old doctor, then he will know. So like that we learn as we go on watching different students. This is one group of students have come to retreat. Now I'm watching all of you for 6-7 days quietly, whose nature is what, who is what, and how you behave, how you just escape, how you try to do this, how you try not to do this thing. We keep observing. So another group might come in the next year. I have to learn again. So it is a learning every day as far as this world is concerned. New cases keep coming. But maybe better than another person. I may know a little more better about human psychology, human natures. Much better people are able to appreciate from the West. Slowly in India also, a section of people are able to understand and appreciate the teaching. Better evolution is there as they keep listening to me repeatedly. To some people it takes time. Like to some clothes, if it is too dirty, it takes lot of soap powder to wash it. To some, a little bit powder is enough, it can be washed well. So it depends. So, but it is happening definitely. Everybody is troubled with conflicts and all these things, but they are confused, they don't know what it is. Most of them are in a rush, want it happen instantly, like instant coffee. Things doesn't happen like that one. But people generally don't want to put in efforts. They want some power, universal power to put their hand and set right everything. Things doesn't happen. A Mahabharata war had to happen. Everybody accused Krishna, if you wanted, you could have stopped the war. When nobody was listening to him, how could he have stopped the war? That is the fact actually. Fact that was in front. Everybody is, even Gandhari cursed Krishna. If you wanted, you could have stopped the war. When your son was not listening to me, how could I have stopped the war? In spite of that, if you want to curse, okay, if that is the prarabdha, let it happen like that. He accepted the nature. We have to leave it to the nature. So that's how things happen. We have to put in effort. We have to watch people, everyone. Evolution is happening, but not dramatic results cannot be expected. This is the truth actually. Many people talk now, oh no, everybody is spiritual, world is going to change. 20 years, 30 years, 70 years we have been watching, the world doesn't change like that overnight. It's going to the worse. Human thinking is becoming more violent, more selfish. The reason is with the advent and advancement of science and technology, and we are forgetting spirituality. So the things that we have discovered or invented, they are creating more conflicts, more and more conflicts. You see, wealth creates conflicts. When there was no wealth, it was more peaceful. That type of thing many people would have experienced. It was psychological push. He was so depressed, and always the relatives he could not see those people whom he considered as his grandsire or relatives, but they all had sided with wickedness, adharma. That is the reason they had to face the war. Otherwise the war wouldn't have happened. So, but Arjuna was depressed. I cannot fight, I am going to kill. Even if I kill all these people, what's the use of we getting the kingdom? So Krishna was trying to tell him, this fight it is not for your sake that you have to kill. It is not that you need some property. For sake of the society's protection, for society, citizens of this country, entire subcontinent, that has to happen. For their sake, you have to take up the bows and arrows. Finally, when Arjuna was not listening, he had to employ the psychological things like, I have already killed these people, you just take up bows and arrows and shoot the arrows. So it is like that only. See, this is when he went on explaining psychologically, philosophically to Arjuna's mind was engulfed with the teachings. So within his mind, it manifested. He saw that vision as a mental projection or manifestation. That's how he saw it. So Krishna only went on explaining, I am this and I am that and I this. So that's what has happening. And Arjuna got to see that one. So that is it. Bhishma knew that Sri Krishna was a great self-realized soul. He knew. That's why when he was listening, attentively he was listening Sri Krishna's advice to Arjuna, so he also got that vision, bless that one. Where not everybody got that vision because others were not concentrated, they were not interested to listen. Whoever were listening, for them, they understood that philosophical truth of what Krishna was teaching. I means Krishna was not mentioning that I of the body, that I as the ultimate self, ultimate truth, he was explaining that truth. Arjuna was habitual. See, this is what happens. To be precisely a practical lesson, I will tell all of you. All of you definitely respect me. When I am talking here, you will all listen. But when you go back home, you will all behave according to your habits. So that was what happening in Mahabharata War. In spite of after listening to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Arjuna, I know you will behave according to your nature. Like when Abhimanyu got killed, he instantly took a oath that tomorrow before sunset I will kill Jayadratha. If I cannot kill, I will enter fire. So next day, before sunset, so Arjuna's concentration was getting disturbed. He was unable to fully concentrate on the fight, on shooting the arrows. Half of his concentration was going on the sun, whether it is the time is passing by, sunset is going to happen. That's when Sri Krishna ridicules Arjuna. Arjuna, you all have, Kshatriyas have this illness of taking oaths unnecessarily. What was the need to announce in microphone? You should have simply taken a bow and arrow and killed Jayadratha. This is war. There is no need that you have to announce that I am going to kill. You kill and everybody will understand that you had to kill. So that was, now you see, they are alerted. Enemy forces are totally alerted. They want to protect Jayadratha at any cost so that they can make Arjuna enter the fire and Arjuna ends his life, and Pandavas will become so weak. Such a situation, Arjuna, because of your foolishness you have created. And when he was fighting Dronacharya also, Dronacharya stood in the front. And it was not possible to defeat Dronacharya. Krishna tells that this old man knows no fatigue. They were all in their 90s or so, Dronacharya, but they were such great warriors. Arjuna was no match for Dronacharya when he stood like that one. Then Krishna tells, you do a pranam and I will circumvent Dronacharya, our chariot, and we will go. And Dronacharya understands. He also allows them to go. So that such things Krishna had to employ. Without Krishna, they couldn't have won, because understanding a dharma, executing the dharma is a very difficult thing. As everybody was talking, the dharma of three types, three responsibility. Taking care of the physical body, you all can understand, yoga, exercises, everything. And taking care of the mind's health also, you can understand, you meditate, you purify your mind. But the third one, upholding moral values, is the most trickiest thing, because human beings are very cunning and clever. For them, they keep one set of justice. For others, they will keep another set of justice. My children are different. Your children are different. When it comes to blood relation and such things, this is human nature. Everywhere it happens. So that was what happening. That's what Dhritarashtra was doing. Because it was his son. Draupadi was not his daughter. Draupadi was his daughter-in-law, Pandava's wife. So he kept quiet. Conveniently he kept quiet, didn't order, no, this should not happen. Nobody protested, this is not fair play, this is injustice. They didn't use their wisdom, why there is no such contract that you can do anything with the woman. You have no right to disrobe her. This must be stopped. Nobody was ready. Everybody defined the dharma according to their convenience. So that's what happens. That was what Sri Krishna handling. So he had to employ such things. Many Indians also misunderstand Krishna also, today also. They have spoken to me. Sri Krishna was only a politician, Babaji, isn't it true? No, you have not understood, I told him. Sri Krishna, one of the greatest assets of our country, our world. So his wisdom of application, teaching the dharma, what is fair play, how to set a priority, what is the nyaya. So this is what happens. We all face in our lives people behaving according to their selfish and narrow-mindedness. Shri Krishna simply went on advising Arjuna, you have to fight this war. For that he spoke about the dharma. The reason why this war had to happen means, he went on telling they were unjust. Duryodhana was unjust. Otherwise this war wouldn't have happened. So all chances were given, all avenues were explored to avoid the war. But when one person insisted unjustifiably, then the conflict happens. From childhood, just for our sake of understanding education, from childhood itself, when they used to behave, like Pandavas were innocent. They used to behave like childish people. Bhima, he was powerful, but not with the wicked things. Whereas Duryodhana always planned wicked things in a cunning way, planned murder type of things. So that's a court of justice things, whether a person was defending, whether in the spur of the moment it happened, whether this is a planned murder, like that they decide what is justice, what is the punishment that has to give. That type of things were happening. So whenever Sri Krishna came also, he used to alert Dhritarashtra or Gandhari, look after your children, what they are behaving is not nice. Because they are very young, now you all don't understand, it is not coming. One day when they grow up, if they take up weapons and ready to kill each other, they won't listen to any philosophy, any advice of anybody. Then all elders will be affected. But Dhritarashtra was not listening. He went on overlooking whatever his son did. So many things has happened in Mahabharata, story has happened. He wanted to kill Pandavas, putting fire to where they were staying, this type of thing. Finally he planned the dice game. So in the dice game, so he cheated with the help of Shakuni and went on making temptations to Yudhishthira. So conflict happens from both hands. Yudhishthira also got tempted. Without applying wisdom, without consulting their guru, he went on doing it out of personal ego. So these type of things happened. That's how the conflicts come. Otherwise such a things, they wouldn't have happened. See, they all loved Krishna. They knew Krishna is a self-realized soul, great guru. But in the Kshatriya clan, so in those days the society, it was a matter of prestige. If the opponent invites you for a game of dice, you could not refuse. You had to accept the challenge. If you refuse to play, that means you are a useless person. It will be below dignity. That type of thing was there. So, but Yudhishthira could have told, I will accept this dice game only after consulting my guru Krishna. then this thing wouldn't have happened. Well, he didn't consult, he came and sat. And certain rules were set, but they overruled all the things upon him. You put your into stake, you put this into stake. A king has no right to put the entire kingdom at stake, because kingdom doesn't belong to the king. It is for the citizens. He is just supposed to take care of the thing. So, but he put the kingdom into stake. Now this will be yours. They won the thing. So afterwards, when they were tempted, he went on putting his brothers also. That was another mistake Yudhishthira also did. So they were already wicked, and here foolishness was happening. That's how the calamities happen. One side was wickedness, another side was foolishness. So Yudhishthira went on putting. Finally, he put his wife also at stake. See, the temptation, and this is what the lessons, moral lessons that is given for any person. Such games must be avoided. Lottery type of games, or this type of dice games out of money, putting stake of the things. So they went to the extent of putting his own self and his own wife, everything happened. So they won the things. Before that, when Yudhishthira had built a palatial bungalow with the help of a Maya, a Shilpi sculptor, so in those days still mirror, that type of things were all miraculous things. So many things he had built like that way. A certain water flow appeared, but actually there was no water. Where it did not appear to be water, there was water. So Duryodhana falls into the water, doesn't know. So from a distance, Draupadi was watching. Draupadi laughs at him. And the story says it's also because Duryodhana's father was blind. A blind son is also a blind, she uttered. Well, that is wrong thing, we all accept. But that doesn't mean that you can do anything with that woman. If she had uttered a wrong thing, he could have complained to the elders. Draupadi uttered like this one. So the elders could have called her and scolded her. So then the matter should have ended. If necessary, her husband should have scolded. But Duryodhana kept the grudge in his mind in a wicked way. Any moment comes, I will teach her a lesson. I will disrobe her. I will put her into such embarrassing below the dignity of that thing. So here, everybody behaved in such a way. Wicked people and his friends, everybody sided with him. On the other side, nobody thought, at least we should tell, even her husbands could have protested. Today, if we try to apply wisdom and think, he could have protested, okay, you have won my wife. You can make her a slave. She can mop your home, wash the utensils. Any such thing is okay. But you cannot disrobe her. She is an woman first. She is my wife afterwards. As an woman, I will protect. Yudhishthira could have told. But they all kept quiet, silently. They didn't say anything. So that's when the story is telling that Sri Krishna taught to set priority. He didn't say anything else. When Draupadi remembered him, he came and protected Draupadi from getting disrobed. So that was wrong. Everybody were in the court. If at all it had happened, we don't know whether it happened or not. We try to discuss if it had happened. Her own 5 husbands were there. Grandsire was there, Bhishma, a great saintly person supposed to be. But he also kept quiet. He didn't protest and say, and he felt helpless because he said, my loyalty is to the king. Without his orders, I am sorry, daughter, I cannot help you. But he also forgot, if I help this woman, I could save the entire Kuru clan. He knew that one. So because of this, a war can happen. There will be vengeance with each other, wanting to take all such things were all show their vengeance. So he knew that one. But he forgot his dharma is to protect that woman first. That is how conflicts happen in this world also. Countries fighting war. If you try to go to the root cause of why these 2 countries are fighting, then you will understand. But it's very difficult to establish. Nobody will accept. Countries siding with one side, another side, they will all justify their action to suit their interests. So nobody will accept why this has to happen. So that is how this world, humanity is going towards destructive things, destructions, because that is what is known as selfishness and narrow-minded. That's why the war happened. That's when Sri Krishna taught that we have tried to, in spite of that also they avoided. Sri Krishna came to Kauravas as a peace worker. So you don't have to give their kingdom, just give 5 villages to 5 brothers. They want to live independently with self-respect. Then the war can be avoided. But Duryodhana was not giving, I won't give back. After the condition was, I will take your kingdom and you will go for 12 years of forest living and 1 year of incognito living. After coming back, their kingdom should have been given back to them. So they successfully stayed in the forest for 12 years and incognito for 1 year. When they came and claimed now the kingdom is ours, then Duryodhana refused. You fight, we will see in the battlefield only. So there, if you win, you take, otherwise we will take, it's ours, I won't give. So that's how the war became inevitable finally. The Bhagavad Gita does not teach violence. Some years ago I heard that Russia has banned Bhagavad Gita because it teaches violence and war. But it is not so. It teaches peace and self-realization. But if somebody has imposed the war, what you do? You have to defend yourself. Trying to remember the teachings you received while you were here. That's what says how seriously you are listening to me, listening to my answers and the morals, what I was trying to convey, how that could penetrate. So at least we used to wait for Swamiji to come to Dehradun every year. I didn't talk anything what I wanted to him, whereas many others used to come with their problems. I want this to happen, I want this to happen. So Swamiji simply ended up telling that one. They never thought what was that Swamiji wanted to convey, wanted to give them. So they never knew what Swamiji wanted. Whereas I was waiting. I was simply used to, sir, he used to be sitting, suddenly he used to, if it came to his mind, if I asked anything, then he used to tell. That's how I could learn. Even today it is ringing my ears. Every word that he said about faith, about devotion, about moral values, about this thing, how to be careful. Like the stick she was talking in the afternoon, that stick he gave. In the dark, if you go out for any reason, take one stick and a torch always. Even if an animal comes, at least you can fight out. Even if you have to lose also, you can fight. That's how he used to talk. Without resistance, you must not give up things. Without fight, you must not give it easily. Okay, like that he taught these things. So these things, if you also listen like this, 10 days is quite a long time. So then you won't forget. You will all remember what I have answered for the question, what I have tried to teach you all. So you keep that practice always in the midst of your way of life that you would have adopted. Every day you get up in the morning, 1 hour of meditation practice and chant the mantra that I have taught you in the morning. So that script also is there, you can note down in your phone or anywhere and try to chant them and try to listen to devotional music. These things can be very good therapy to keep your mental energies channelized on the positive side. I would suggest if you meditate, it will come practically. If you try to visualize, there could be confusing. If somebody slaps you one side, you should not show the other side of the cheek. Slap that person back. Then only you can defend yourself. You need to make the hissing noise. So these type of stories are also said by gurus in ancient times. We have read in books also. So there was a guru going through the village and one person wanted to listen to his teachings of the master, and the snake was also there. Snake wanted some advice. He said, don't bite, don't harm anybody. Try to be a noble and try to meditate. He taught the snake also. Then after some years, again the master came that way. So then the snake comes and complains, Master, I just followed your instructions. I did not bite anyone. I kept quiet. But this is what has happened. Everybody started pelting stones at me. I am almost getting killed. I am bruised and all over my body. So what is the use of the philosophy that you taught? Then the master said, okay, did I say not to do hissing also? Do some hissing and keep the people at a distance. You don't have to bite them, but you have to show them hissing. Otherwise, everybody will take you granted and sit on your head. So this is what needs to be followed and understood when you try to divine. At the same time, you have to be careful. If it's a tiger Narayana, that's how Ramakrishna used to tell. So you have to be careful with a tiger. If you come across a leopard, don't think this is God. Simply it has to be divine, not like that. You have to treat it like a leopard. Because the brain is like that there. Its brain is like that and it will end up behaving whatever it is used to. The same way every human, they have their own brains. No matter you consider them divine, but they will end up behaving the way they have to be with you. So for that you have to be careful. So inside you cultivate the habit, this is divine, and you don't have to curse in your mind anybody, but ready to defend yourself. These two things are totally different. Bodily actions, mental actions has to be separate. Mentally, you maintain your actions so that you are close to the divine, but outside bodily, ready to behave in this world as the need arises.